Good morning.
Good morning,
Hey,
everybody. How you doing today? We are so glad you're here with us in the Gorman bunker.
Yes, Gorman bunker.
Bunker.
I think
yes.
I've been quarantined too long. I think.
Oh man. Hey, this is day 5 maybe for some.
I feel like I'm the princess in Shrek, and I'm counting the days. Day 423,607.
Hey, there's probably an app already created for those app fans out there about how to
Absolutely.
count the days right now for the coronavirus.
There we go. How many tick marks do you have on your wall? Please don't do that.
Yes, please don't do that.
Well, you know what? No matter what it is in the bunker, outside today is the first day of spring. Boingy, boingy, boing. That kind of spring, right? Boingy,
Hey,
boingy,
I have my
boingy,
green
boingy.
on today. I know I forgot it the other day, but hey, in honor of spring, I got green.
Everything's blooming. Everything's got to be cut now. Oh my goodness gracious!
Yes,
for real.
allergies.
Seriously.
Whew.
Wow. You know what? There's a piece of music, this is for musical education, called The Rite of Spring by Igor Stravinsky. And it is one of the weirdest pieces of music that's out there. Actually, people walked out because it was so bizarre. So look it up. Listen to it. Fantasia 2000, I think, does or the first one, Disney Plus or YouTube, whatever, has a cartoon of it. Something to look at.
Yes, definitely something to look at. Hey, I want to encourage you guys. Hey, first day of spring. You know what I like doing? I like going outside, Pastor David.
Yes, yes.
You know, kick back, man. It's beautiful today. I'm excited about the weather. And you know what? The question for me is, when you go outside and you sit down, are you a Coke fan, or are you a Pepsi fan?
Pepsi fan. That's me. I'm a Pepsi fan.
Please let us know.
Please let us know. Are you a Coke fan or a Pepsi fan? I don't know what it is, but everything Coke, Mellow Yellow, things like that, just doesn't do it for me. It's just too bubbly for me, and I think there's more syrup, maybe more sugar. I don't know. In Pepsi, I don't know. They don't pay us for any of this, but you know, we just want to know your thoughts. You know what else is a good thing to do outside on a spring day? Watch your chickens peck. You have any chickens? Charity Phelps, Craig Phelps, Sam, you know?
Yeah.
And Joshua and Shannon. I think y'all got chickens, don't you? Do they have
Just
chicken?
don't want to be a spring chicken. Okay?
Not a spring chicken. Today is National Poultry Day also, in addition to being spring. So I actually have a joke for you. Here we go. What do you get if a chicken lays an egg on top of a barn?
What do you get if a chicken lays an egg on top of the barn, Pastor David?
An egg roll.
Ah! I like egg rolls. I mean,
I like egg rolls. I love egg
version of them,
rolls.
but they are good. And then the other quick thought that I have for you is, how do chickens bake a cake?
How do chickens bake a cake?
Yes.
With eggs?
No. From scratch.
Scratch.
That's more of a dinosaur T-Rex style, but yeah.
Yes, that's it right there. All right, so last one here. What did the sick chicken say? He said, I have people pox. Is there chicken pox? Get it? I have people pox. Ah, it's funny. That's funny. It's funny. It's funny. Okay. I do have something to say. After yesterday's video, I thought a little bit more. It bothered me about the 10,000 hours thing. We said it was 40 days. And I was just thinking to myself, something's wrong about this. Something's wrong. And it is not 40 days, 400 days. As a matter of fact, it's almost 417 days. And Sam, thank you for putting out that it was 416 days and 20 hours, I think it is. So thank you very much for putting all of that nerd about how much that really is.
But kids, hey, I know some are going to pick up their books today. Again, make sure you stick with that good old fine education that you got to do at home now. So guess what? We're all homeschoolers now.
We're all homeschoolers now. You know what I should have done when I thought through that, the 10,000 hours? I should have rounded it up to 1,500 hours and made a big block and made 10 times 1,000 hours. Okay, trying to do Common Core. But
would that have been the Common Core that they would have gave you today?
Core. Yes, a lot of people are carrying the one today. Parents, you're doing that. I know you are.
But teachers, we're praying for you. I know my sister's a teacher.
Yes.
A lot's going on for you guys. And yeah, your wife's a teacher, and
Your wife's a
my
teacher.
wife's a teacher at home. So
Yes.
we're praying for you guys right now.
are,
And
we
I
are.
know, man, y'all are having the world flipping upside down for you guys, and you make sure you got your stuff coming in. So y'all stick in, hang in there, teachers, as well, with everything going
I
on.
know you know a lot, and you want to tell your kids exactly what that information is, and this is such a hard time to do that. So whatever means possible. I was just telling somebody today that it's amazing we can do this now. 15 years ago, none of this would have been possible. All this
Man.
video stuff on the computer, none of that would have
So
been really
true.
going out there. So you would have had to buy a whole bunch of these massive thousands of dollars things, and now everything's free online and being able to do a lot of this stuff.
I think that's something we need to talk about tomorrow, Pastor David.
I think you're right about that. Let's do that tomorrow, okay? Let's talk about something else today.
Yes.
And that is
What's on your radio?
more radio playlist.
Radio Gaga.
Radio Gaga.
Y'all know that
Radio
song.
Go Gorman.
Radio Go Gorman. There we
Gorman, there you go. So these are songs that if you have a disease like corona or something like that, listen, we're not minimizing the disease at
No.
all. We're just trying to make a little light while we're doing this. But if you do have a disease of any sort, these are some songs that you can play for the Radio Contagion playlist.
And so the first one is always going to be Staying Alive, Staying Alive, Staying Alive, Staying Alive. By the Bee Gees, of course.
There you
Great
go.
classic one. Man, hey, get your kids and all the classic music. I'm a eclectic guy, so man, I like music from 1920s roaring to all the way now to wherever we got on today, such as Justin Bieber.
2020 roaring.
2020 roaring.
I
Again.
think it's funny that you said it was classical music because I actually am classically trained and with classical music like Beethoven and things like that. So you're saying these are class six.
Class six, sorry.
Not classical music. It's a little bit different there, but that's okay. That's
Thank
okay.
you.
I'll forgive you. My classics for you are 100 years old. Classicals for me are 300. So there's a deal. There's a
True,
difference
true,
there.
true that.
So yeah.
What is our next song, Pastor David?
So if you are sick or contagious or something like that, it's possible that you might be radioactive by Imagine Dragons. So stay away from people, please, if you are radioactive. And we may treat you as if you are. We treat everybody as if they're radioactive right now because chances are you might be. So be careful with that.
6 feet away.
There you go, 6 feet away. There
Keep
you
it
go.
up.
Mhm.
All right. With a great thing, not just staying alive, but being a survivor.
I'm gonna make it. I'm a survivor.
I don't know the rest of the song.
I don't either.
This is just my T-Rex style.
This is senior year in college or something.
Yes.
I mean, in high school. I think.
High school, Destiny's Child. I mean, the great classic.
Before
from
Beyonce
them.
was solo. All this
Exactly.
other stuff. Yeah.
We had this great song. So, be a survivor. You can survive.
Who is Destiny anyway?
To my fans out there, how did Destiny's Child get its name? It will be what Pastor David's asking.
That's what I'm asking. Who is Destiny, and why do I care about her child? And why are there 3 women being her child? I don't know. Tell me. Do you know? Find out. Okay. All right. The next part is from Muse, and it is what we're going through right now with all of our schools and hours and things like that. We are going through a big freeze by Muse. So there we go, big freeze.
And then my fun favorite, man, if you loved Independence Day back in the day, you heard this all the time because the world is about to end. So it's the end of the world as we know it.
It's the end of the world as we know it. One more time. It's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel fine. There you go, right there. It's the end of the world as we know it. Maybe not the end of the world, but
No,
we might.
no.
Let's call it hyperbole. Look it up, kids. Hyperbole. It's an article of speech.
I mean,
somehow.
technically, when the end of the world is happening, Jesus is coming back.
There you go. There you go. There's a lot that's going to happen before coronavirus
Yes.
takes the end of the world. So praise God for that. One of the things we said yesterday was going to happen here. So if you are, we are hoping that we are going to be saved from ourselves, and we want to bring me back to life, save me from coronavirus. Evanescence. I made a little different part in there, different words in there. But anyway, bring me back to life. There you go.
And that's such a great one. And then, how to save a life.
How to save a life. How to save a life.
By the great band, The Fray.
what do you call a string that has curled up around itself and just you know, cut the end off of itself? What do you call it?
I don't know, Pastor David.
It's a frayed knot.
Ah, afraid not.
Stupid.
Love it, love it, love it.
Okay, well, you know, I had your grease yesterday, so I guess that I'm making up for that today. So.
I get it. Good dad joke.
Yeah,
Good dad joke.
There you go. All right, and the very last one here. Everybody sing along. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That's all I know of the song. Anyway, Kelly Clarkson. That's for you. And so everybody out there, thank you for the Contagion radio playlist right there. All right. What song would you suggest in the Contagion radio playlist? You know what I did not put on here is Zombie. I meant to put Zombie on there. Zombie. Now, some people say that they like the version that's out there right now, but my original Zombie.
Actually,
The Cranberries is the way that I listen. I hear that song. I've got to. That's like the only version for me is the Cranberries song. The new one, I don't remember who does it, but nah. Give me the little. I don't know.
All right, you fans from the early '90s.
Yes, that's what that is.
Mid '90s, I guess. Cranberries.
Cranberries.
The Zombie. Yeah, I kind of don't. I kind of remember that. That was not my genre then.
Oh yeah, well, you know.
So
it is what it is. It was there. Maybe not the classicals for you.
Nah, not the classicals.
Not the classicals for you. What would you put on the Radio Contagion playlist? Let us know, okay? Tomorrow we'll bring you a quarantine song parodies. Just a hint for that. We get a parody of the This Is Halloween song from Nightmare Before Christmas. This is Quarantine. So we'll sing you a chorus of that tomorrow. All right. Well, let's talk about some God sightings, man. Let's see any ways that God's showing off amid this weird time. What is a way that God is showing off to you right now, today?
Yes, please put below.
Yeah.
And just when you're thinking about where you are and what you're doing, some of you guys, I know, I still have to go out. I had to go out today and find some stuff and get some stuff together as we continue to work on our skills of this new form of communicating with you guys and getting stuff on webs and doing videos and everything. But in the midst of it, it was kind of nice today. I went out and I drove around. I saw what was happening at Walmart and what was happening at Sam's. But then all of a sudden, you know what? There's no line at Target. And so I went to Target.
As a man, you voluntarily walked into Target?
I did walk in Target as a man.
Okay.
I came out as a man. I don't know where you're going with that, Pastor David. But it was really great, man. I think one of the great things as a God sign is just there seems to become a unity right now. Mm-hmm. And it's just, we want to care for each other the best we can. And even in the midst of being out in public, we are being very cautious to be able to stay our distance and care for each other's, I like to call it bubble space, I guess. Just to have, because I know I saw a mother and her kid, and she had her kid tucked down in the buggy while she was going around the store. And then even when I was standing in line just to give me some Starbucks because I needed some caffeine. And I know some of you white women mamas out there have got to have your Starbucks, okay? So, you can still go get it, but I love the fact to see that as we stood there to get our orders and everything in line, everybody just kind of kept their 6 foot and hung out. We kind of talked and looked at each other, so it's not like this is weird or anything, but we try to keep things as normal as possible in a safe way. And that was really great to see as a unifying thing today with everybody as I was out shopping around. And I thank God for that and everybody being able to do that. And I hope you'd be able to do that as best you can at work.
One of the things that I just think is amazing to me is, again, we have this possibility that we can talk to each other this way, and just to see these musicians and see these story makers, these people who write books, and they're using this time to, they're not trying to sell themselves, they're just trying to just be however help they can to whoever they can, and they've got these story times on Twitter and places like that, and Facebook, and these people are having little concerts. The musicians are having concerts because they can't go to they can't do anything, and people want to hear their music, so this is just a way that they can give back. And I know that we talked a little bit yesterday about God and artists and things like that, but I just think that this is just an amazing way to that God has given us this broadcast capability, and just I think that's a great a way to pass the time, because just trying to do this 15 years ago would have been just ridiculous and boring, and it's a lot different. Well, people would have been outside more, I guess, but but I think that's my God sighting for me. Have you got a God sighting? Let us know. Let us know.
Well, as we're getting ready to go into just this quick moment of time, a little Devo for you guys to think about today. Pastor Dave, what do you have for us?
I'm going to be in 1 Kings chapter 19, and this is really just, you know the story probably, but if you don't, then Elijah was just worn out, and he was being chased by Queen Jezebel and King Ahab, and he really ticked them off God really ticked them off, and so they were trying to take it out on Elijah, and he was being chased. But anyway, he was just weary. He was weary, and it was just at the end of his rope, and he had nothing to nowhere to go or anything like that. So he ended up on this mountain, Mount Horeb, and God says, "You go up to the mountain, and I will pass by the mountain." And in 1 Kings chapter 19. Verse 11, it starts out and it talks about there was a great and powerful wind that tore the mountains apart and shattered the rocks before the Lord, but the Lord was not in the wind. And after the wind there was an earthquake, but the Lord was not in the earthquake. After the earthquake came a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire came a gentle whisper. And when Elijah heard it, he went out, he pulled his cloak over his face and went out, stood at the mouth of the cave, because he realized that God was in that very gentle whisper. And while things are happening all around you right now, again, media is just inundating you and trying to tell you things all over the place, and you're learning things about how long the quarantine is going to last and how long schools are going to be out and things like that, and it's something that's different every day. Take time for that still small voice to be heard, because God can get a hold of you in any way, but remember that that still small voice is one of the ways that He uses, and we just got to stop and listen for it. So.
Stop and listen. I will encourage you guys also. Hey, if the Holy Spirit does lead you, and I know right now also is talking about this thing of unity. Don't be afraid again to go out, check out your neighbors, call your parents. I think most college students are back home now and everything. Some are on the 2-week break, and some are now, I think, as I know one student, his classes are now all online. And so find a way if you can to help them. I know it's been a hard time. I know seniors this year.
Yes.
This is a year for you guys that's flipped your world upside down, because
Absolutely.
Right now we don't know what graduation is going to look like for you guys. And you don't. And you're questioning. You're like wondering what's happening. Probably in the midst of also SATs and ACTs. So definitely seek God's voice. Hear it where you can, and find out what He is calling you to do right now in the midst of everything going on today.
Right. Well, that's it for today. Tomorrow, come back and we'll talk about some ravioli. All right.
Ravioli.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.